Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Codersarts. So in this series of episode, basically we are going to talk about developer journey, where we showcase our inspiring story from the developer and also try to get more insightful information from the developer journey. So my name is Jitan, and today with us we have a special guest, Mr. Manish Kumar Singh. Okay, so as a skilled and successful data scientist, and
That was a
yeah,
lovely introduction. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
okay,
How are you?
okay. Yeah, just go ahead. So share your what are the information you have to. Then I will ask my prompt. What are the different question I prepared for you? This okay. So anything more information you want to share? Then I will go to the my next prompt questions.
It will be better if we start with the question itself so that
Okay,
we will
okay.
have a flow,
Yeah,
particular flow.
yeah.
Otherwise, I can see some things which you have already in your question.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, fine. I agree with you. So let's start with the very first one. Like, first describe what is your current professional landscape, like what is you currently doing, okay, and
Yeah.
what are the skills you are using, okay, and how you landed this job, and basically what is your in current job, what are the different day-to-day tasks you are doing, okay. So as a data scientist, so currently you are a data scientist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So currently, I am data scientist in Walmart,
Hmm.
and I now almost have 5 years of experience.
Hmm.
So I joined Walmart back in August 2021 after
Hmm.
COVID.
Hmm.
So, like, I was before that in Ola. So while in Ola, I was interviewing. So I got into Walmart,
Hmm.
and it was like I will go into detail if you want into interviews. But like right now in Walmart, I am in supply chain, and
Hmm.
basically we are working towards correcting inventory, anything
Hmm.
related to inventory, any ML task related to inventory. There are multiple problem statements which we are working on,
Hmm.
and it has a very huge impact. There are few
Okay.
projects which is already we have implemented and has an impact on Walmart sales and revenue. So
Okay.
yeah, so
So,
day to
yeah.
day activity, if you say, I like as a data scientist, we generally work on gathering data,
Hmm.
crunching those numbers, finding out insights, doing an EDA, finding
Hmm.
out which features will be useful for our model, what is the
Hmm.
target, how it will be implemented,
Hmm.
and mostly in feature engineering, how the architecture would be. All these things we discuss among data scientists. Also, there are data engineers who work on
Hmm.
setting up the pipelines,
Hmm.
running on testing and dev, and then finally
Hmm.
publishing it into prod.
Okay.
So all these activities are there. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And what are the top skills? Like, yeah, what are the top skills? Like, yeah, Python is programming languages. Okay. So, other than that, what are the things are needed? Like data analytics
So
or.
yeah, so like Python is basically used in data science everywhere, but
Hmm.
in Walmart, what happens is the data is very huge. It's
Hmm.
in billions,
Hmm.
billion of rows. So for that, we have few projects which are implemented in Scala, so
Hmm.
that it will be more efficient and more error prone, like error free, because
Hmm.
Python is not very like very strict language, but Scala
Okay.
is just like a Java. So
Hmm.
there you have to define few things which will uh, be less error prone. So for enterprise level, when we are talking about Walmart, which has such a huge data, Scala is a better language. So we use Scala, we use Python, we use R. In terms of
Okay.
tools, we generally use GCP, but there are like multiple cloud sources available in Walmart
Hmm.
within.
Hmm.
But right now I am working on GCP, uh,
Okay.
and like GCP tools like BigQuery or Dataproc clusters or like BigQuery services. Yeah, that's all.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry,
Okay, okay.
GCP
Yeah,
services.
that's perfect. So I have one question. Like most of the student, we are facing this question. Like, what is the difference of data analytics, data scientist, and machine learning engineer? So are they same or different? Just explain in your turn how these are
Uh,
different.
like it's you can say like the role of three, both all the three is important in
Hmm.
any ML project. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that,
Hmm.
not just that like ML engineer uh, uh, is can do everything, but in a way, if I say for a data analyst, there are many business use cases. Like when I was in Ola, I was towards like I was working in revenue team,
Hmm.
and my daily job was to roll out offers, like
Hmm.
so that it can increase Ola's total bookings. So
Okay.
for that, we were rolling out offers to different customers based on their
Hmm.
categorization. Different
Hmm.
tags were given based on their
Hmm.
behavior. and then we were rolling out offers to find out uh, like how much lift we are getting in terms of booking. So this was basic kind of analysis. And when you are working on a business side, and where you are taking decision, like there are people who are taking decision on based on
Mm,
data. So
mm,
data analyst, most of the work is to crunch those numbers, get some insights, give it
mm,
to business so that particular decision can be made. Here a manual task of decision is there, but data analyst is working on those data to find some patterns or insights.
mm,
In when a like data scientist comes next into this, like when you are having a decision based model or
mm.
decision based mm, uh, what you can say, just a second.
Decision based like what, decision based processes or decision based yeah, basically
Like,
taking decision based data, right?
yeah, like where you are taking business decisions now, like when data analyst there, he is providing insights,
Hmm.
management is taking decision.
Yeah, yeah.
When we want to automate that,
Hmm.
we use ml or data science to actually do that. So data scientists come into picture then. So
Okay.
since business is already using some insights, they may be taking some data points,
Hmm.
some signals. Based on that, they will be taking they will be taking decisions. So those decisions we try to automate using ml and ai. So
Okay.
data scientist, most of the job is like to find out which features or what all factors are there which can affect our decision, how
Hmm.
in past decision has been made, how the machine learning model should be. So
Hmm.
these all tasks is taken care by data scientist. ML
Hmm.
engineer is like a full stack, you can say a data scientist who can manage the data. Like he can do a data engineering stuff, like to get the data, to find out what features are there. He can also work towards what architecture should be there. So
Hmm.
it's ML engineer is like a more versatile job in terms of coverage.
Hmm.
But it depends, like many people have
Yeah.
interest in just data science, some
Hmm.
people have analysis interest. So based on your interest, you can choose any of the fields.
Yeah.
All of them are pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, I think in machine learning, or in broader term, I think there is total four main category. Like first, we go to data pre-processing, right? So we are collecting or pre-processing the data. Next one is training the model, right? Testing
Yeah,
the model. The final is predictions, and the next one is evaluations. Okay, so all the machine learning tasks basically in top four or five, pipeline revolving around. So maybe
yeah,
in data, scientists come before training the model, before the training model, right? Processing the data. What are the feature engineering should be, what are the things we should take care about the while processing data, what are the different insight outlier, I think outlier or outline, these things are matter,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Like the intricacies related to the ML algorithm which you are using,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, mainly data scientist job is to find do all those
Yeah,
stuffs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm fine. I got it. Okay, so now, Manish, let's talk about what was your developer journey like from college to this role. Okay, so now if you have any resume, something you can present, and you can explain throughout. Also, you can explain what was your thinking process while applying to. I think so. You have applied directly as a data scientist. Oh, okay. I think we will go get this information through your resume. Okay, so how
Okay.
your journey, going around the part. Okay. So
Yeah, I will come to the resume. I just wanted to highlight some points how you should actually make your
okay,
resume.
yeah, yeah.
uh, like while talking about myself, like how I landed into data science
Hmm,
science field
hmm,
is like, I did my engineering in computer science, so I
hmm,
already had exposure
hmm,
on ML and AI. Since in BTech generally there is a subject
hmm,
on AI and ML.
hmm,
So from there itself I got an interest, a bit of interest. But I did my college in BIT Sindri. It's in
hmm,
Jharkhand.
hmm.
And like after that I actually got placed in Wipro. That was the first company which visited our college.
So what was
So
your role in Wipro? What was your role?
in Wipro, I was working as project engineer.
Okay.
There, basically, my role was on data warehousing, Teradata. So that is the first time I went into actual data field. Before that, in college, I was working towards software engineering jobs, and
Okay.
also I was a participant. Like I had a team. We were a
Hmm,
team, and we participated in Smart India Hackathon.
hmm,
There,
hmm,
we won as a second
hmm,
runner-up prize also.
hmm,
So that was towards software engineering. Then I suddenly moved, like I joined Wipro. Then I came to know about the data, like how huge data is and how things work. So I was working on T-Mobile. T-Mobile was our client there. So there I learned about Teradata. That was, you can say, at that time, Lamborghini of data warehousing.
Okay,
So it was
okay,
very costly. They had a like external devices plus software, so it was very costly, but it was very fast. So from that architecture, I came to know that how they have made some such a complex software, such a fast, with very low latency, and that's why it was very costly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So from there I came to this field. Then open source, Hive, and all these all
Mhm.
things came into picture, and people started working on those. So it opened a lot of opportunity for data
Okay,
science
okay.
people.
Yeah, yeah. So you're talking about the resume, right? Your resume preparation. I just interrupted in between. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. So yeah. So basically, if you as a fresher, if you are a fresher, definitely you will not have any experience in data science. So
Mhm.
what you need to do is you need to do some projects, like some simple projects. Start with some simple projects. Go
Mhm.
into some complexity. Try to find out what all problems are there in the data. What all
Mhm.
insights are there,
Mhm.
and how you can solve that problem. Try to think about that, then develop the project. Along with that, please make a note in a medium or any article. Please publish an article about that projects, how you have actually solved that problem, so that
Mhm.
you will have a clear understanding. You can showcase your work also in your resume by just
Mhm.
pasting the link of your medium. So by this way you will have some information. You can actually go in front of interviewer and say you know all these things, so that then only he will be able to ask questions. So actually, while in Walmart, I actually got a chance to interview uh, from some student from IITs. So
Mhm.
I came to know that, like, the people, some of the students were very keen, had a very keen interest in data science, and they
Mhm.
themselves worked on those projects, even if
Mhm.
they were not from computer science background. So that was very impressive.
Okay.
And there were few people who just came to that interview to find out, like, how
Mhm.
is it.
Mhm.
So if you are particularly interested in that field, definitely you should have
Mhm.
something in your resume to show that you are actually interested in this field. Then if you are an experienced person, you must have worked on some projects.
Mhm.
uh, just for example, I will show my resume.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Okay. Before going to resume, there is one question. Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay, so do you have you find any resources, either website or YouTube, that is everything is given there? I think I was also figuring it out or searching. There is no any such websites. They are giving well structured documentation or tutorial everything or data science or machine learning. So have you got like in one website there is everything is there? Any website you got?
It will be very difficult because data science landscape is changing too much,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's very fast moving
Mm-hmm.
field. So you can't have any single source of truth, but you can definitely find a few good articles if you want to get into data science and understand how it works. Then
Okay.
probably I will say you can use Coursera. There is Andres Karpathy course. It will give
Mm-hmm.
you a basic information how a deep neural network works. So you will have an understanding, basic mathematical understanding how it works. So
Okay.
that will help you to get your roots or basics strong. And
Yes.
on top of that, you can go through many resources are there. There is a Analytics India magazine. A lot of articles are there where you
Mm-hmm.
can read about this. If you want to do some courses, there are multiple companies which are. I also actually joined upgrad for a small, like, for one course, and then I came to know about that field. So if you are a fresher, if you want to go into data science field, definitely you can do some courses to get an understanding plus certification to have something in your resume.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, fine. So go ahead. You can share a resume. I think you are
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me share my resume.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, so this is my resume which I made, like, which I am actually updating it, but uh, I made it back in when I was in Mu Sigma,
Mm-hmm.
like the second company when I joined after Wipro.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I have designed it. Like, in college itself, I was very active in curricular activities. So I was there in a club where we used to organize events and all. I was taking
Hmm.
care of all these IT things. I
Okay.
developed a
Yeah.
website, developed a,
Yeah. So go ahead in like in from starting to college to this company. Okay. So start from the college because there is too many things to discuss. Okay. So go start with the
yeah.
college. Then what are the next? Then next. Then next. Then we talk about Walmart. Okay.
Okay. Uh, so in college, like I was active in those activities. So
You have done computer science, right?
yeah, I've done computer science engineering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I was active there, and I was like I developed an app. I developed a website for our event,
Hmm.
then flyers, all this. Then I learned Photoshop. So
Hmm.
from that, this, if you see this resume, how I have developed, I have actually used Photoshop to make it.
Hmm.
And like it is not required, but I had that skill because I learned that in college. So I
Hmm.
connected those dots to make it more impressive. So if
Hmm.
you see, most of the resume goes through ATS, like the automatic um, resume selection. So for that you should have some keywords. So if you see
Hmm.
here, how I have made it. So I have
Okay.
like written what sector it is. It is of retail. It is of like I'm working on inventory management. So I've given
Hmm.
those keywords because
Hmm.
resumes are generally text, and lot of people, like lot of HRs who are going through resume, they have lot of many resumes. If you
Hmm.
have to make your resume such that they should skim through it and they should get an understanding what you are and what do you know. So here,
Okay.
from this, if they don't read even what I have written in the small text, they
Hmm.
can just read this green or blue
Hmm.
one. The green one will tell that which sector I have worked on, and then the blue ones shows what all tech stack I use in that particular company. So
Okay.
if you have an like a automatic resume selection, that definitely these keywords will come into that. And
Hmm.
also it will help an HR who's actually watching your resume or viewing your resume,
Hmm.
or going through your resume just a glance. He can
Hmm.
just know about you from this itself. So
Hmm.
this is one thing. Then whatever projects you have worked upon, if you are an experienced person, definitely you should add the impact. Like I
Hmm.
have added impact here, how much impact it has created, like 61%, 91% to 93%. That 2% increase in Walmart is a very huge, because Walmart
Okay.
is a like
Hmm.
revenue is in 600 billion. So
Hmm.
that is the scale we are working on. Even a
So
small
okay, okay.
percentage.
So in Walmart, so where you're located? So you're working as a remote or office? From where working?
Right now, like in April itself, they have started work from office for 2 days in a week, but
Hmm.
the rest of the days we are working from home.
Okay. So what is the current city of the company I'm talking about? What is the company current city? All this company offices?
Yeah, it's like I am in Bangalore,
Okay.
and like
Yeah.
the office is also in Bangalore, and
Hmm.
like we just go 2 days in a week, and it's a tech park, so
Hmm. Okay.
there are multiple buildings of Walmart there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So you are
So
talking about skills.
yeah,
Okay.
so I was talking about like if you have worked on any project,
Hmm.
so definitely highlight these impacts,
Hmm.
how much impact it has actually created. Or
Hmm.
if you are a fresher, if you are working on a simple project, just write those numbers. What you use some model, it was giving baseline model was giving some
Hmm.
accuracy or some recall precision, whatever metric you are following, and
Hmm.
then you can say that it has increased this much. By this, how it will impact the business,
Hmm.
you should write those things. That is the something which will create an impact, that you have worked on such a big projects and it has a huge impact. So these are few of the pointers. Then definitely you can add your
Hmm.
certification achievements or anything
Hmm.
you have worked on, like
Hmm.
projects, um, or skills. I have just shown as a data scientist, if I
Hmm.
don't use graphs, it will be a it will be
Okay.
a I will not feel satisfied. So that's why I use graphs to show that how
Okay.
much skill I have in each of the uh,
Hmm.
uh, tools or programming languages. Then what
Okay,
is
so
your
time series. So most like first one is a Python is more percentage than time series analytics, right? And visualizations, uh,
yeah? So
clustering. Yeah.
yeah, so most of the work, like in Walmart, I have used Scala. Before that, I was mostly working on Python and R.
Hmm.
So I have like a my proficiency is in Python only,
Hmm.
and in different, I have worked in different companies. So Mu Sigma was a place where I actually worked on data science projects.
mm,
Before that, I was there in Wipro. There, I was working on data warehousing. Then
mm,
I went to Mu Sigma, where
mm.
I actually was working with Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, if you know, it's a Slack competitor.
Okay.
So, uh, so yeah, I was like Microsoft Team was a client to my Mu Sigma. So I was working in product analytics team. My basic task was to find out what is the reason, like what reasons are there uh, due to which persons is getting reactivated. Reactivated is someone who is using Teams after 28 days gap, minimum
Mm.
days gap.
Oh, okay.
So, like, what all factors are there due to which these persons are getting reactivated, or how we can increase engagement so that those inactive persons can get reactivated. So all these
Mm,
analysis, it was towards analysis. Then I moved to another company, AES. It's a Fortune 100 company.
mm,
It's a electric generation company of US. So
mm,
there I worked on different projects. Like they had a very huge gas power plants. So
mm,
we had a task to actually, because gas power plants generally don't get uh, to generate electricity. They only get chance to generate electricity when there is a huge demand or there is an outage,
mm,
because there is a penalty for carbon emission in US. So
mm,
so that's why they needed a model so that they can actually predict when gas will be required, like when they need to generate electricity and how much, so that they can buy gas beforehand. Because if they
okay.
buy gas from the current market or the live market, they will have to pay much more. If they can buy before and day 1 day ahead or 2 day ahead,
Mm,
they can buy gas at much lower prices.
okay.
So that was a problem statement I was working upon in AES. Then there was another problem statement related to hydropower plant. So
Mm,
the basic problem statement was to find out how, um, like when they should actually use their reservoir to generate electricity so that they can maximize their profit. So what
mm,
happens in Colombia? There is a El Nino or El Nina. I'm not sure
mm.
when the summer.
Okay. Okay.
What is El Nino? Like which
Mm,
one is the summer one? So
okay. Okay.
during summer season, like there is a drought kind of situation in
Mm,
Colombia. So the river does not have enough water to
mm,
actually generate electricity. So
mm,
the hydropower plants are dependent upon their reservoir.
okay.
Now the company want us to find out those days when the electricity prices would be high, so that
Mm,
they can generate electricity only on those
mm,
days, so that they can maximize their profit. So
okay.
that was another problem statement. This was mainly towards time series and all. So
Mm,
here I worked on multiple multivariate time series. Single, we tried many methods
okay.
here.
So Mu Sigma, you have mentioned three projects, right? Burn
Yeah,
predictions, spot price, and Microsoft Team. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this was Mu Sigma was, I think, your uh, just show me the current company. You are Walmart. Then before Walmart, you're working on Ola,
yeah.
right?
I
Ola
had a
Gas.
small, like I worked in on. I worked in Ola for a small period because it was towards analysis, and since in music, I was working in
Okay, so
like
okay, okay,
towards
yeah, got the
the.
idea. So in Ola, what was your like? What is the as a data scientist? Is there some? What was your role there? Senior business analyst. Okay,
Yeah, it was like a business analyst role. So as I said, like I
okay.
had to roll out offers every week for different categories, like cabs are there, autos are there,
Mm-hmm.
bikes are there, airport cabs
Okay,
are there. So
yeah.
all it was towards analysis. Then any number from the business, since I was in revenue team, any number if a business want, I had to generate those number, find out what all patterns are there. Why, if today suppose Walmart, sorry, today suppose Ola cabs are not getting that much traffic, so what could be the reason? In the morning itself I had to find those reasons, what
Mhm.
could be the possible reasons, then report it to
Okay.
my manager so that it will go to the business,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably we can take some action around that. So it was very fast paced environment in Ola, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing I was working on is something I was not very interested. So I left it, Ola, and then moved to
Okay.
Walmart.
Yeah. 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 Fine. Fine. So before Ola, there was Mu Sigma. Okay. So we have already discussed about the Mu Sigma. Before
Yeah,
that, also you have talked about project engineering Wipro also, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So.
yeah. So this is the basic points you should take care, like when you want to create your resume
Mm-hmm.
for data science. Like what sectors you have worked on, what tech stack you are using, what is the impact from your projects which you have
Mhm.
worked on. All these things are
Okay, okay,
important. You are
okay.
giving.
So can you give me like a brief on what are the skills, in the serial order? What are the things like first should we learn Python? So basic or oops or Python concept, fine. Next, what are the things you are talking about? NumPy, pandas, right? So these are basic one, okay.
Yeah.
And what are the other things we are talking about? Then we should focus on the first machine learning part because machine learning overall, right? Then after then we
Like
can yeah,
machine learning also had now bifurcations. Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to do a classification regression, there is a
Mm-hmm.
classification, then regression. These are
Mm-hmm.
basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
These were developed in 1990s or 80s, and
Mm-hmm.
since then these algorithms are very good. Right now, also we are using these because these are very fast and very
Mm-hmm.
we can understand these algorithms. Now we have a deep neural network, neural
Mm-hmm.
networks. There are many architectures around that. Those are being used for many tasks, like to generate for generative AI, or for like visualization,
Yeah,
or
yeah. We will come about the generative AI because there is lots of things. But just I'm getting that idea. What are the skills here needed, right? First, anything.
I mean to say that like any basic programming language you should learn. Like you should know how programming works. Even like I didn't knew Python before. I was working in
Mm,
C++ or Java only.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
I came to Musigma. Then I started on Python. So it's very easy to learn. Just learn any one programming language in your college life so that you have a basic understanding how
Okay.
programming
Okay,
language.
okay. Yeah. One more thing. Also, I got lots of questions. So, suppose while working on machine learning, right? So, using different algorithms, right? So, have you implemented any algorithm from scratch, or do we need use any, already TensorFlow, Keras, all their framework we have available? Just use that one. So, in company, do you actually implement any algorithm from scratch, or maybe not in company? So, have you throughout journey? So, have you implemented any machine learning algorithm from scratch, or is needed or required or not?
Like when I was in service-based company, it was actually more towards delivering the project. So we basically go with what all algorithms are available and what we can do with them,
Mhm.
which one can be better. So basically, we were doing that. But in Walmart, since a lot of data is there, and we want to do things at scale and impact those, so definitely here we do some tweaks to the algorithm to find
Mhm.
out how it is working, like giving weights, finding out what factors uh, could we can pass so that it will have a greater split, or
Mhm.
what metrics we should use to get those uh,
Mhm.
uh,
Okay, okay,
impact. Yeah.
okay, okay. So, like two or three skills, like NumPy, Pandas, basic machine learning fundamentals, right? Then maybe
Yeah,
for
NumPy, Pandas, these are tools. I
yeah,
think
these are
tools are something
beginner. So,
which you can learn. Basically, I would say read about all algorithms are
mhm.
there, which all algorithms are there in classification, then in regression, then in
Yeah, yeah.
clustering. These are the basic three which is required in any data
Mhm.
science job. Then if you want, if you are interested in large language model, and then
Mhm.
you can go on into deep neural network, or
Mhm.
recurrent neural network, or agent based network. What there are many fields in as such. You can, like, based on your interest, you can learn all these algorithms. There are many algorithms, many architecture in data
Okay,
science.
okay,
It's
okay,
just
fine.
not about tools. Tools is
Mhm.
something which you can learn on the go while implementing all these
Mhm.
things.
Okay.
Mm.
So before one is going to this projects interview, like so before have you worked on any machine learning projects before, and what are the that project like? Either if you are in colleges, have you like before applying for any data science roles or jobs? So what are different personal projects or caption project, any project you have built on self? Okay? So like what type of project also you were suggesting somebody? What are the type of project they can work on, like two, three, four, five, any project, or what are the if there is some different concept. So
Yeah. So, like when I was in college, definitely I didn't work on any ML project there. Uh,
mhm. Okay.
but once I went to Wipro, I actually got into upgrad. From through there, I actually worked on some basic problem statement, like Zomato.
Mhm.
Zomato data is there to
Mhm.
we were working uh, on recommendation engine, which food to actually suggest and all. So
Mhm.
from there I started on few of the projects. Then while in now I'm working, I'm actually making some of my projects which I had in my mind from long back. So
Okay.
like related to stock market. So definitely, if you are interested, if you can learn, you can actually implement those things in your life also, like in your daily task also. ML can be used like in stock market. If you are taking some decision, even if you have data related to
Mm,
that, then
mm.
it will help you to take decision even in financing or in your management. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay. Anything to say, or let's move to the next prompt. So, okay, so let's talk about little about what about your skill development. Like, yeah, I think we have already discussed these things. Like, what are the different skills we should acquire while applying for this one. Okay, so all the things, and okay, so other than that, okay, so let's just start with like little about the coding journey. Okay, so how when you started your first time coding, so have you in plus 2 or 10 have you any coding subject or or yeah anything, so let's just give like brief idea like when you started, first time you started, coding using laptop or just we are I think in a schooling also there is lots of subject nowadays kids
Yeah.
are learning, so
So
give the yeah.
yeah, so I did my 11th and 12th in from science only, but I had a computer science also.
Hmm.
So that was when I got an exposure to computer science or coding. So I
Hmm.
started with C++, because in CBSE mostly C++ is there in 11th and 12th
Hmm.
for computer science. So I learned there, and I was I was also doing uh, like a few small projects, like school based projects,
Yeah, yeah,
very
obviously
big.
because
So
we are yeah
yeah, so that is when I got into this coding field.
Mhm. Yeah. So first programming was in your C plus plus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
then when I went to college, because of that background, I like when first year itself, or end of the first year, I started competitive coding in code chef and code
mhm.
forces. So I was learning few things that time, and
Mhm.
then we went to hackathon, and then I moved to data science. So
Okay.
that's how
Yeah.
my journey is.
Okay. Okay. So somebody, if somebody in a school or so they are not math background or science background. So are the coding for those or not?
Yeah, coding is not very hard to learn. It's
Mhm.
just another language.
Mhm.
It's just that how we speak to communicate, we need to learn
Mhm.
another language to communicate with the machines. So it's not very hard. It's just that you have to be clear with your basics. Most of the computer science, if you see the architectures or how the things work,
Mhm.
is taken from the real life examples, like
Mhm.
queuing, how CPU works, the queue. Generally, people stand in queue.
Mhm.
So a lot of say a resemblance is there with the real life, so people can understand. Just they just need to find out like the connection between real life and the computer
Mhm.
science, so they will understand much more better if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
because
have a background in computer
yeah,
science.
yeah. So there is lots of course, lots of different job roles in either you are in tech or zone or like you need to do like more coding like data set algorithm gigs or you are just developing part or maybe you are as an analyst or maybe you are using any framework. So there is lots of opportunities. So I think not any boundary about like I think all the subject person if they want to interested there is something in coding or tech world if there is some type of job they want to do so available is there.
Yeah, like I should like, I feel everyone should learn at least Python or any easy language
Mhm.
if they what they want, because even if your general life, if you want to do something, coding
Mhm.
can help a lot. If you are copying something, if you can
Mhm.
generate that using just a for loop, it will be easy for you. So everyone should at least learn a basic programming language, so
Mhm.
that they can expedite their process, like if they are
Okay.
working.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's great. Okay, so Manish, let's talk about how was your like mentorship? Like, have you how mentorship are helpful? So, is there any mentor you are using, or maybe you are? I think you are already offering the mentorship. Somebody who are interested to data scientist. So, if just brief, what are the challenges a student are facing, or whoever you are giving the mentorship, or is the mentorship required? Like, should we follow the any YouTubes or tutorials or maybe documentations, or we should focus on one-to-one mentorships? You should hire somebody. So just talk about how the mentorship work and why you should need it. Okay, and Yeah, and what are the things in somebody you're going to mentor somebody? What are the points they should anyone should take care?
Yeah. So like mentorship is needed definitely,
Mm,
because
mm,
there are, I don't know anything. Like I must not be knowing everything. There
mm,
are some people who are very great in their fields. Definitely,
mm,
if we can like interact with them, we will get that knowledge very fast from them. What to
mm,
do, what not to do. If you are doing yourself, you will get that from your experience. What things you did wrong, what things you got it right. But if there is a mentor, if he can guide, these things can go wrong, these things can go right, you should do like this, and you can do like this. So based on your interest, you can meld few of the things, but uh, the basic pitfalls can be avoided by using mentor can guide you what to do and what not to do. So mentorship is definitely required. And like I started my mentorship in like as a hobby from
mm,
Scalar. And
mm,
then there are like many freshers who contacted me related
mm,
to how we should build a resume, how we should
mm,
as a fresher apply to different companies,
mm,
how what all interview questions are there. I also took some mock interviews for them.
mm,
So definitely mentorship helps. And there are multiple channels you can use there. Like even if you are watching a YouTube video,
mm,
if a video like we are right now interacting, many people will understand few like how
mm,
data science field work, and how they should actually if they are fresher go about it. So
mm,
it can be YouTube. If you are not that much, like if you don't want to invest that much time to find out a particular video, then you can go for one-on-one if you want to expedite your
mm,
process.
mm.
So definitely there can be multiple channels, but
Mm.
mentorship is required in any field, I feel. Even
Okay.
I
Yeah.
as a I would say there are many mentors which has helped me. Even my seniors,
Mm,
even my colleagues have helped me to
mm.
understand few things. So definitely it is very helpful.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because also, there is lots of thing. Also, when you are watching any video or tutorial, so there may be, many gap because to what are the currently in the industry is work. What are the the things needed in industry? What are the actual work needed? Because there's lots of thing in any domain. You cannot remember everything. Okay, but if you are in interview, some the person who is taking an interview, so they are already person they working in real projects or real tasks. So if you are taking mentorship for somebody who have already in that place, okay, so
So
I think, yeah, yeah,
I can say mentor is just a catalyst
yeah, yeah,
for your
yeah,
goal.
right, right,
So
yeah.
they can expedite your process. So
Mm,
if you want to learn something, you will search on Google. It will give you a
mm,
lot of links. You will
mm,
not come to know which one is you should follow, which one is better, which will give you an overall picture. Definitely,
mm,
mentor can help you if they have followed some resources which
mm,
can be like uh, more better than other resources, or it
yeah,
will give you more information, or uh, uh, like practical approach, so that will
mm.
be much more beneficial.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect. Okay, okay. So let's move to the next question. Let's talk about little bit about time management tips. Okay, so how you are managing your work, how you are managing your personal life. Personal life is like have you obviously there is some personal time for you, either family for you, or maybe for upskilling yourself, or maybe you are watching video or YouTube. So I'm just talking about what is your philosophy of the work, how we should manage. Also lots of things are facing nowadays. People are facing as a report I'm reading that one, so little bit personal, facing the issue health, mental health, these things. So
Hmm.
what do you think about just about what are the time management tips, and what person I should keep themselves as a healthy? Okay, so because as a software developer, data scientist, so there is as a too much mind level work, so that is also stress, that is also. So
Yeah.
how you're managing this thing of time manage, or how you're working, giving time yourself, so just giving idea of that.
So yeah, it depends totally, because there are some few companies you will have a lot of work, but definitely you will get a learning opportunity there. When
Mm,
I was in Mu Sigma, some days I have worked for 10 hours, 12
mm,
hours, even 14 hours, based on the business requirement. If you have to deliver, we have to deliver.
mm,
That's the thing.
mm,
It's the ownership we have taken. So
yeah,
there is an obligation, we have to deliver that. So
mm,
in that time frame, if you feel like you have pressure, actually in such situation you will learn a lot of things. I actually
Mm,
learned a lot. My learning curve was very steep in
mm,
Sigma because it was very um, like fast paced environment, and
mm,
I have to deliver few things. And I that time I was not very aware of the these algorithms, so I used to learn in like just after I have completed my work, I used to learn few things so that I will be ready for the next day, so that
mm,
I can execute my things much faster. I know what I have to do next day. So if I can think what all things are required and what I don't know, what I can search, read about it, I can spend some 1 hour or 2 hour after my work, and then definitely in another day in the morning, I can finish my work much faster than other people if they haven't followed that. So you will have to think where you are investing your time. Try to
okay.
reduce that. If you are investing your time in learning more because you don't
Mm,
know the things and you have
mm,
to implement it,
mm,
you can take some time, think
mm,
about it, what is required in future.
mm,
Try to learn those uh, things whenever you are getting time.
mm,
So that is one way. Then you can have a timetable. If you have a particular time to go to office, and if you are coming from an office,
mm,
then you can probably have a timetable. But my life was very kind of, I was working on startup, so they
mm,
don't have a timeline. So it was
mm,
very haphazard manner. Sometime I will come 10 o'clock, sometime I will come 12 o'clock. So
mm,
whenever I used to get time, even in mobile, while eating in office, if I have to do some task, I used
mm.
to read through it to make it much more faster, so that I don't have to invest special time for that. So these are
Okay,
few of the things which you can take care if you want to learn
okay,
and
okay. So, do you take daily exercises, morning or evening?
yeah. So I have actually, after coming to Walmart, I have joined gym. So
Okay, yeah,
I'm
that
going to
that things help in lots of productivity. Okay, because
yeah.
I try to do
And
I yeah,
like I would say, like stress is, don't take stress as a failure. I would say take stress as a you're learning. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
try to learn. If you have having a stress, try to think why you are getting that stress. Try to
mm,
resolve that stress instead of
mm,
running away from that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so that is the best thing to do if you are in stress.
Mm.
Running away is not a solution.
Yeah, definitely, because no one know when the new technology will come and when we have to learn new things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll talk about later. Okay, so one or two question we'll take it out, small. Okay, so what are the current challenges you are facing, or in term of technology? Okay, so or what you are trying to like. So you are already data science. So what are the different skills you are now learning? Okay.
Yeah. So, like as a data scientist, now in Walmart, things are at scale. It has an enterprise level. Like whatever we are building, it is at an enterprise level. When I was in Musicma, it was like more towards delivering things than doing in a right way. In Walmart, we are like more focused on doing things in a right way. So here I got to learn a lot in terms of data, like data engineering aspect, how we should develop a machine learning algorithm which could work in at that scale as Walmart has a huge data. So these are few of the things. Even like whatever I have worked earlier on is something will not work here in Walmart. So everything is new for me because the data is very huge. Although algorithms are same algorithms, we can say classification regression we are using, but except that everything has changed. So there is a lot to learn because the data is very
Mm.
huge. How we can manage the latency if we are building a real time machine learning project, how we should deliver that with such a huge data. So all these things will is something which I am learning right now, and I am trying to implement those in my
Okay,
projects.
okay. And what about, let's talk about GPT. So how Chat GPT is used as a data scientist. So do you, are you using daily basis, or how as a data scientist Chat GPT is helpful?
Yeah, as a data scientist, you can like chat gpt can help you in many ways. If you want to brainstorm on something, like if you are working on some problem statement, if you
Mm.
want to first try to think about that problem statement yourself. Don't use chat gpt directly. Think
Okay.
about all the aspect, and
Mm,
now you can use chat gpt to find out what things you missed. Try to
mm,
find out what all factors can affect a
mm,
particular problem.
mm,
Chat gpt may have a few points which you don't have, or he may not have few points or which you have. So
mm,
in that way you can compare and try to learn few things. Then definitely while coding, if you have to write code, you can take some help, but I would say rather try yourself. But
mm.
if you know something, and if you want to deliver some things very fast, definitely you can take help from that. You can write some code, write some prompts which can help you in coding. So that is
Okay,
also
okay,
one thing. Then
okay, okay.
probably,
Okay. So
yeah.
as a if you have some information, you can say like, so what is the technology and the, you know, what is the, yeah, technology or logics behind the development of the chat GPT? So how basically chat GPT work? Like how we, so this is like in term of technical term you can describe, so how they are built up, like how they are actually working in back, back of the mind, how they are working. Obviously everybody using, so there is no any person. But as a data scientist, so what do you think? So I think there is some type of model like natural language processing or some type of, I think high
So
levels.
yeah, so like they have, it's a, you can say, a big deep neural network.
Mm,
So it has transformers. Like
mm,
transformers is an architecture which
mm,
is being used to train language, like language models.
mm,
So there are multiple transformers which is built, like there can be different architecture. You can use those transformers to build an architecture. And we have, like ChatGPT has such a huge data. They are using
mm,
Wikipedia or all PDFs books
mm,
to train a model on top of that. So it has an architecture. We are just using those data to train ChatGPT to understand
mm,
the basic modeling aspect, like what after like what I can say. Mm, so these books or PDFs have a lot of information. This gives
mm.
them a context, and from um, uh, actually I'm not I
Okay,
haven't
okay. Yeah,
actually.
yeah, I know that because obviously there is lots of resource available for there. Anyway, somebody need to more depth about, because they need too much, not too much effort or timing to understand how these things are working, because that is not work of one or 2 months, because chat GPT was in backend was working large since last many years, right? So because then it's come to the real picture. So there's lots of resource also available. So if you somebody want to interested more about, so I think they can follow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I think we have covered everything. So if you have anything, one or two questions we can put, like, okay, so what do you wish, as a data scientist, what do you wish any website or app should, or anything should have, but right now not available? So what is your is talking about, what is your wish? What would be any website tools just you thinking it should be there, but currently not available? So maybe you have any, it's just basically it's a project idea, right? Any idea you're thinking currently not available according to you, and also that is needed, so either maybe website tools or anything that might be.
Okay, I haven't given a thought about that. Let me think. Mm. So, mm, like I just suppose I use Notion for
Mhm,
my notes, like to write notes. So
mhm,
definitely there can be tools which can like whatever you have made your notes. Like we have now chatbots. You can
mhm,
ask questions. So
mhm,
even whatever, like if you are writing notes, if you have a whole database about your information, whatever you have learned in so many years, you
mhm,
can actually feed those into a a chatbot like GPT, and
mhm,
then you can ask directly a question. If you don't want to go through your whole notes,
mhm,
actually what you have written, you can learn from that note itself. If you have a chat
mhm,
GPT kind of format, and you
mhm,
don't have to search through notes, because a lot
mhm,
of time it happens, if I want to some learn something, because if I Google, I will get the same links which I have already went through, and I have
mhm,
curated few of the links in
mhm,
my notes,
mhm,
and a few of the points,
mhm,
summaries I have written in my notes. So if I can get that in a concise manner, I can understand those concepts very fast, and I don't have to invest much more time in that. So that is one of the tool
yeah,
can
yeah.
be for us.
Yeah, it sounds interesting because that like it should be historical. Like what are the it will also help to finding your patterns. What was it? thinking pattern, what are the things we are struggling, what are the things we are
Yeah,
achieve something.
like even if you are learning something, if you are feeding all those,
Mm,
it can be a
mm,
tool which can create a question out of that
mm,
to make you to find out how much you understand that particular topic. So there can be many tools as such related to education. Definitely,
mhm.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
much interested in all these kind of
Yeah.
tools.
Also, I once time I thought in thinking like that. What are the idea? I was thinking like, let's make one machine learning app or model. So what we are doing day to day basis, like what where we are going. Okay, so when I was sad, when was happiness, so what are the things? So basically, we are focusing on individual productivity. Like which day I was good, which day I was not feeling good, and what are the things different I have eaten, what are the different people I met. Okay, and what are the different action we have achieved. So I was thinking like, let's create everything for individual level, like so they
Mm,
will be their personal assistants, or they can helping. Okay, so if you it these things, if you follow this pattern, so maybe your productivity will increase this day. So I think,
mm,
but it will be individually, so individual person have to fill their data, and then I will predict once the data is I was just thinking is idea like this is also because after
mm.
2 not 2 years, so obviously as we grow in the AI in world or AI generations now we're coming, so there's lots of app will be AI, just like WhatsApp is the one common everyone have. So similarly there might be many app that you have in your personal. Yeah.
Like if you ask me about the future of AI, definitely I have a few visualization in my
Okay,
mind.
okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead then.
I may be wrong, but what I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
is
yeah, fine. Yeah, this
in
basically
coming
these are
future,
all assumption. Yeah.
what can happen is like big corporate companies can build robots for
Mm,
a general day-to-day
mm,
task like
mm,
cooking and all, and they can have those services on cloud. Like if you
mm,
have a robot like a mobile
mm,
without an apps, like
mm,
a robot without any information.
mm,
Now if you want to use it for cooking, you want to make him learn cooking skills,
mm,
so you can subscribe to some cloud services like
mm.
suppose Google. I'm just thinking that
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
a
yeah,
project.
yeah. I understand.
So the robot can actually download that particular cooking skill, or those cooking skill will get upgraded, so it will be a subscription kind of thing.
Mm,
If you want a cooking skill, if you want to learn something, if you want your robot to have a like kung fu karate kind of
mhm,
like uh, kung fu karate. If you want your robot to be a teacher, you can make him learn all those kung fu karate. He
mhm,
can learn very fast than you, and
mhm,
then probably you can follow him to actually learn. So in
mhm,
general day-to-day tasks, actually all these robots can be there, and then all these services can be on cloud and subscription based. So
mhm,
this is something which I feel can be possible in next 5 to 10 years. Definitely, uh, there can be things which can go wrong, like rogue AI which can do a wrong shit.
yes. Yeah.
But that is something we will come to know as we grow up, and then definitely there will be some governance related to AI to curb
Mhm.
those cases.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely, because regulation is needed, because else this will be threatened to the humans, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Interesting. Okay, okay, fine, Manish. So I think I almost everything I covered. Anything you have, we can discuss. I think it's already 1 hours almost. I think we are thinking
Okay.
it will take, but so if you have anything, we can take further questions or anything we want to share. We can discuss.
Yeah, like I will just say, if you are giving an interview, if you giving any interview, not only
Mm,
data science,
mm,
if you are getting a failure, because when I was interviewing I got a lot of failures. So
mm,
never think failure as a failure, because that is intended to teach you something.
mm,
So I
mm,
actually learned from those failure itself.
mm,
Then after giving a first interview, and when I was rejected, I thought like how it could happen. I actually learned all these things, and then also I was not able to answer.
mm,
So try to analyze those things, try to find your mistakes, pitfalls, and work on those. Definitely you will reach somewhere. So never think about failures as a failure, think
mm.
it about as a teachings,
Okay,
learnings.
okay, okay, fine.
That's my last advice.
Okay, okay, this is final one. Okay, so let's close on conversation, right? So let's one last. There's no any prompts. I'm closing messages. Okay,
Okay,
so okay, Manish. So it was nice talking to you. It's been a fantastic conversation with you. Okay, so thank you for sharing your incredible journey and valuable insight. So I think our viewer or audience will get lots of insight from your conversations. Okay, and
thanks.
yeah, so yeah, that's all for every one. So if you have anything, so I think we have already discussed the final note. Manish have already given. Okay,
Yeah.
so hope you will get more insightful information on this. Okay, so thank you so much, Manish, and have a great day. So we'll discuss more about this thing later. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting me, Jivan.
Yeah, yeah, sure.